Hey guys, so we are going to go over LF Vegito Blues kit as a Zenkai character. Now this can go one of two ways. This can go either very bad or even worse. This can't really go well, I don't know. Because think about it, right? No matter what they do, they can't win, right? You either make him too good or you make him not good enough. It's so difficult to get it exactly right in the middle where he's just not too good but not too bad, but like exactly good enough. It's just so hard to do that, right? There's so many different angles they have to consider. The current meta, other characters that haven't even released yet. They're probably thinking about when they create this guy. I think they actually did a very good job with the green Vegeta Zenkai, the previous LF Zenkai. So I don't know. We'll see. I am not very hopeful, to be honest with you guys. If you guys played back when this guy released, you know how absurd and oppressive this guy was. He's literally a one-man army. He destroyed you single-handedly. If you weren't using this character, you lost. Like, that's just how it was back in the day. So we're going to take a look here. The number one thing that I'm looking for is some kind of cover change nullification mechanics. If he has the ability to nullify cover change, this guy will be absolutely ridiculous. So that's the one thing I'm looking for. The other thing I'm looking for, honestly, is defense. I think if this guy is able to pick up a solid, either unique ability for defense or just has ridiculously high defensive stats, which I think is pretty likely, this guy is probably going to be looking pretty good. Just because that's the one area where he's weak in. I think offensively, even before Zenkai, he's still pretty good. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So here are his stats before we click the Zenkai button. Let's go ahead and see what we get up to here. Okay, so strike attack is very high. I mean, it's not like, 300k, which is what we would expect to see from an LF Zenkai. We saw that with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We saw that with Gohan. A lot of these LF Zenkai characters have very mid 290s plus in terms of their main offensive stat. But because of how ridiculous this guy is, I think 290 is definitely good enough. Defenses look pretty good. I am not going to complain at all about 185 for both strike and blast defense. I think, again, most other LF Zenkais have a bit higher in terms of defense stats, but I am okay with this. I am not going to complain at all about that. All right, so I have his details pulled up in a separate tab here. I just want to see if they change anything. I assume nothing with these. The blue card was already very good, so let's see if they change anything with this. Massive impact damage. Inflicts all enemies with no switching for 3 counts. Obviously, that is the same. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% of damage received for 15 timer counts on hit. So that's the only thing that changed here. That went up from 15% to 20. Okay. Honestly, this is, again, not really something that needed to be adjusted or changed that much. The one thing to remember about this blue card, by the way, is that this is a long animation. So if you're trying to snipe somebody from long range with this and they vanish, you are going to be getting comboed for free. So don't do that. All right, so they said in the Twitter preview that this green card would be getting blast armor, which I don't think matters at all. Applies the following effects to enemies on hit. Cancels attribute upgrades, activates twice. Inflicts attribute downgrade at plus 25% to damage received for 15 timer counts. Okay, so literally everything is the same here except for the fact that it now has blast armor, which again, I don't really think matters, right? Like, when are you ever going to be using this green card when are you ever going to be utilizing the blast armor on this green card? Number one, this thing, this unit has blast armor on the strike cards, and, the only situation I could ever see you actually potentially using a green card to have blast armor is if you pop your main ability in mid-range, and then you see an exclamation point. But the thing with that is, why would you not just ult in that scenario, right? So I would actually find it very, oops, I don't know why that went out there. I would actually find it very, impossible to almost use blast armor with this green card. I legitimately can't think of a scenario where I would use blast armor with this green card. So it's they did the thing that would impact this the least. All right, so let's see its ultimate. I don't think it's going to change at all. Supreme damage, 50% damage. Yep, that's the same. 100% cut is the same. I mean, it didn't really need to get touched, honestly. Yeah, it's the same. Everything's the same, which is fine. Didn't need to get touched. All right, so let's see. Main ability. You can't even keep up with me, can you? Randomly destroys one of your own cards. Draws the Ultimate Arts card next. Health by 20% and key by 50. 40% of damage inflicted for 20 timer counts. So that actually gained cannot be canceled. and then reduces damage received by 20% for 20 timer counts. That also gained, cannot be canceled. So I guess the only thing that changed about the ultimate or the main ability is the fact that those two buffs gained the cannot be canceled effect, which is okay. It's not really going to affect much, I don't think. All right, so Zenkai ability. Now there's three options here, right? We can either get blue God Key, blue Future, or blue Fusion Warriors. I think this is probably going to be God Key because God Key is the main theme that they're pushing for this first part of the anniversary. Right? We obviously got UI Goku. We got the transforming blue Vegeta. I am assuming God Key, but I would not be surprised at all if this was Future or Fusion Warrior. So let's go ahead and see. Yep, God Key. Okay, blue God Key. Makes sense. Another buff for blue God Key. What is that, like another buff for blue Beerus? We can get another Zenkai buff for the new Vegeta. The OG blue Goku. Okay. Alright, so let's see what his first unique ability turns into. Following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. 50% of damage inflicted cannot be stacked. Okay, so this actually gain cannot be canceled as well. I guess that interesting. That actually used to be cancelable. Okay. So that no longer can be canceled. Reduces damage received by 30% for 15 timer counts. Nullifies attribute downgrades and normal conditions for 15 timer counts. That is the same. Knocks enemy back to long range if a cover change performed against it. Okay, yeah, that's the same. So literally the only thing that changed here is the fact that the damage buff now cannot be canceled. Okay. Not really anything special there. Second unique ability here. So he does 30% extra damage against tag Fusion Warriors. Cannot be canceled. That actually already could not be canceled, so that didn't change. Applies the following effects stealth over time when faced with an enemy depending on their battle style. This is 40% 15, 40% 15. One level 15 counts, and then, yeah, that's the same. That did not change at all. Following effects occur upon landing a Strike Arts hit. Draws a Strike Arts card next. Activates twice. Activation count resets when character switches. Restores on key by 5. Yep. Minus 1% to health restoration. Oh, that's new. Inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade minus 100% to key recovery for 3 counts. That is very similar to the green Vegeta, the one that was the previous Zenkai LF character, but the main difference between the green Vegeta and this Vegito Blue is the fact that the Vegeta is also lowering your ki, right? It's not like he's just reducing your ki recovery. He's also decreasing your ki by, what is it, 20? 30? Something like that. Let me just see if I could find it real quick. Minus, no. I don't know where it is. Anyway, that green Vegeta, he does. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm gonna pull him up. Let me actually just filter by God Key because that's a big distinction to make. I've already seen some people make the comparison of this Vegeta to the Vegito Blues effect that is right there. Where is it? It's probably one of these. Yeah, okay, so he reduces ki by 15. So he reduces enemies' ki recovery by 75%, but the biggest thing is that in combination with the fact that he's lowering the enemy's ki. Because I think just, like, this guy's going to be comboing you for, remember, like, 20 counts, right? That's just how this guy works. So if he's doing that, like, you're going to have full ki most of the time. I really don't think that 100% to ki recovery down is going to be that big of a deal. I mean, it's going to be annoying, but it's not going to be as bad as that green Vegeta's. That green Vegeta's effect is way more potent, I think, so. All right, so let's check out his new unique abilities. Brace yourselves because these potentially could be some of the worst unique abilities ever because of how scared they are of touching this guy at all. Sapphire Protector of the Future. Applies the following effects to self when 2 allies are defeated. Restores health by 15% and reduces damage received by 10%. My God, that is so bad. What is that? Come on, dude. What? That is so bad. Like, all right, let's just see what the last one is. Sorry to be rude, but you left yourself completely open. Applies the following effects to self when this character evades an enemy attack with a vanishing step. Minus 2 to strike arts cost for 5 timer counts, and then 20% to strike damage inflicted for 5 timer counts. Yeah, these are both pretty bad. I mean, this one can be okay if you PV somebody, but this is like these are actually like full unique ability. Like, look at this. Look at this. Look, this is what. Look at this, and then look at this. Like, come on. They were so terrified of this guy. It's actually insane. But it's fine because people were saying the same thing about the green Vegeta back when he got his Zenkai. They were like, "Oh my god, they barely touched him. They didn't really change anything. He's gonna suck." And then he ended up being ridiculous, right? So, I think this guy will be fine. I did a video on this guy a few days ago, or maybe like a week ago at this point, uh, of how good he's able to do right now before he gets his Zenkai awakening, and he was actually pretty good. He was putting in work. The only downside was his defenses were pretty bad, but I mean, keep in mind, not only is he getting these Zenkai stats, right? So his stats are going way up here, but he's also going to be giving himself his own Zenkai buff, right? So he's going to get access to this just for being on the team and just for being Zenkai 7 and stuff like that. So I don't know. People are going to look at this and be like, oh my god, he sucks. He's terrible. But I will reserve my judgment until we use him because I think this guy could actually be very dominant. So we will wait and see how that looks once we use him. Let's go take a look and see if we got any new equipment. I think we probably should. There's a new PvP season, so let's see here. Yeah, whatever this is I guess the new PvP equipment. So this is for Saiyan and Universe Survival Saga. So you're going to get special move damage, 20% to Ki recovery, and then either strike or blast. So it's just a very, very super offensive equipment, huh? Strike to 20% or blast to 20%. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, at this point in the game, we have so many awakened equipments and so many unique equipment that it's like, in order for you to actually consider using a piece of normal equipment like this, it has to be absurd. And you know what's funny about this specific piece of equipment too, is this last slot is going to be one of the two buffs. My question is, if the last slot was both strike and blast attack by 20%, would you even use this, right? Probably would on a few characters. I mean, Saiyan and Universe Survival Saga is basically just going to be Goku and Vegeta, right? And that's it. I guess Kefla. Like the Universe 6 Saiyans and Goku and Vegeta, and that's it. Like, that's who's using this. But there's so many good equipment in the game now that in order for like a normal piece of equipment like this to be used, you have to, like, it has to be crazy. It just has to. Or you're just somebody that's like doesn't have that many equipment. That's it. So I don't know. I'm not really too impressed by this. I think if the last slot was both strike and blast attack, they could have been more attractive. But I think even then, I don't even know if I would use this, to be honest. And then I think we do have a new awakened equipment just because we have the reset for the rush, I believe. I'm not sure if this is actually implemented yet, but let's just see what it is. So this is for Goku melee type. That's going to be a pretty common thing going forward. All right, so we have 20% to blast attack, 20% to strike defense, and then 33% to strike attack. That is very good. Like, this is what I'm talking about, right? Are you going to use this, or are you going to use the other one that we just looked at? Like, it's not even close. This is better in every way. Like, who's picking the other one? It just makes no sense. All right, well, I guess that's everything we got this week. I don't know. I don't think we're getting anything else. Let me just scan through Twitter here, see if anybody posts any images. Oh yeah, there's a new raid, I guess, dropping today, I think. I believe the way that they're doing the raid, by the way, is you actually get a higher chance to like get raid medal drops if you have a higher star UI Goku, which is stupid. And then I think the other thing that's happening is they are doing a powerful opponent banner featuring full power Jiren, Cell, and full power Frieza, those 3 LFs. I will tell you guys right now, if you summon on that, you're dumb, straight up. You're just there's no hope for you. Please, 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 do not summon this week. Wait until next week. Next week is when we will be actually, it might not even be, honestly. Because think about this. The movie releases on the 11th, which is in 3 days from when this video goes live. It is very possible the movie comes out in Japan, which is, by the way, I'm seeing the movie day one. I'll be doing a review, 2 reviews, spoiler and non-spoiler, that like literally the instant I get home from watching the movie. But keep in mind the movie releases in 3 days from when this video goes live. I would not be surprised if this game, if Legends, pushes out like some massive part 2 to the anniversary literally the second the movie comes out on the 11th. It's possible. And you know, I'm just warning you guys. I think what's going to happen is if the banners / new content related to the movie doesn't drop on the 11th, it is for sure dropping next week, a week from now. I guess that would be the 15th of June. So keep that in mind before you decide to go and summon on either the UI banner or this new filler banner, which, please, by the way, please don't summon on that. please don't. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have here for this week. I expect next week to be much, much more grand. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.